हरे कृष्ण प्रतीक प्रभु। हरे कृष्ण सिंधु माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हम्म।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुश्रीयुतपदकमलान् श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहा गणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सह गणललित श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरतिषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Welcome to our systematic study of Vedic scriptures. That in Bhagavad Gita, we are in chapter 17. Last week, we had covered an interesting topic about food, which I was referring like Chatushloki of Ayurveda. I mean, it's only my way of remembering it. That health is very important. Otherwise, um, why would Lord emphasize the science of Ayurveda? And in Bhagavad Gita, why he would emphasize the need of food to be regulated? Because we are not talking about food habits which can maintain our health, mm, uh, for engaging ourselves in karma kanda activities. Like, okay, yes, it makes sense. We need to maintain a good health. Yes, we need to be strong. Yes, we need to be self-independent. Yes, all these things are yes. But if we do not appreciate the purpose of maintaining this body well, is actually to help ourselves to travel, mm, to our ultimate destination, which is beyond the moon, Mars, Jupiter, whatever planets we are trying to go. These are not our destinations anyway. We may have some hmm, propagandas or agendas which can keep us active, but we have to really check, are these really good thoughts? Are these really good endeavors? These are in fact suitable adventures for our life. Otherwise, we may have a very, very adventurous life, but in the end, it's like a dog's death on a street. What does it mean? That yeah, the dogs can bark very loudly. They can also protect their own space. They can expand their own space of their leadership. But in the end, what happens is simply the death is not going to make sure that let us give all the time in the world. No, rather the death, just like we see sometimes dogs are hit by a cart or a vehicle, and then yeah, finish. Doesn't matter how it would have led a life, where so many followers are there, or so many women or she dogs um, are there doesn't matter. And yeah, I mean, anyway, I shouldn't have picked up a dog story when we have a very wonderful Gajendra Moksha story. So, but the point mentioning there was it's not that the dog is running every place to find food and maintaining good self of it, but actually the purpose is to understand why we need to maintain body. It's not just for the well-being of the body, mind, and actually facilitating our own self. Today we'll cover another topic which can be under the influence of three modes of nature, how this is performed, and later we move into a small um, case study for our own understanding. Yeah, everyone ready? Let me know if you see the screen. Am I audible, by the way?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see the screen.
Mhm. Someone can read 11, and then someone else can read 12, and then someone else can read 13. And then we'll discuss on these three. Yeah, you can just begin, whoever.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Afalakankshu bhiryagyo vidishtyo ya ijyate yastavyameve iti manaha samadhaya sasatvika. Translation icons. Of sacrifices, sacrifice performed according to the direction of Scripture as a matter of duty by those who desire no reward is of the nature of goodness. The general tendency purpose. The general tendency is to offer sacrifice with some purpose in mind. But here it is stated that sacrifice should be performed without any desire. It should be done as a matter of duty. Take, for example, the performance of rituals in the temple or in churches. Generally, they are performed with the purpose of material benefits, but that is not in the mode of goodness. One should go to temple or church as a matter of duty, offer respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and offer flowers and eatables without any purpose of obtaining material benefit. Everyone thinks that there is no use in going to temple just to worship God. But worship for economic benefit is not recommended in the scripture injunctions. One should go simply to offer respect to the deity that will place one in the mode of goodness. It is a duty of every civilized man to obey the injunction of the scriptures and offer respect to the Supreme Personality of God. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
अभिसन्ध्याय तु फलं भारतम् अपि चैव यत् ईयते भरतश्रेष्ठ तं यज्ञं विधिराजसम्. But the sacrifice performed for some material benefit or for the sake of pride, O chief of Bharatas, you should know to be in the mode of passion. But sometimes sacrifices and rituals are performed for elevation to the heavenly kingdom or for some material benefits in this world. Such sacrifices or ritualistic performance are considered to be in the mode of passion. Hare Krishna.
विधिहीनं शिष्टान्नं मन्त्रहीनं दक्षिणं श्रद्धाविरहितं यज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते. Any sacrifice performed without regard for the direction of scripture, without distribution of prasadam, spiritual food, without chanting of Vedic hymns and remuneration to the priest, and without faith is considered to be the mode of ignorance. Faith in the mode of darkness or ignorance is actually faithlessness. Sometimes people worship some demigod just to make money and then spend the money for recreation, ignoring the spiritual injunction. Such ceremonial show of religiosity are not accepted as genuine. They are all in the mode of darkness. They produce a demoniac mentality and do not benefit human society. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mm. So here we seeing a very important subject that sometimes we are not sure what should we do. Are we doing right or wrong? And because we are not familiar with these um, ancient ways of living, that's why these are seem to appear like foreign subjects, or maybe we make it superficial, saying, okay, no, that those are olden days. Now there is nothing like that. So we we see from um, the nature of a person decides how he is going to practice sacrifice. Oh, please keep my phone with me. Yeah, it's not here. Anyway, um, we see when someone is in the mode of goodness, nature of goodness, how he is acting is saying of sacrifice performed according to the directions of scripture as a matter of duty, by those whose desire no reward is of nature of goodness. In this Prabhupada is giving take for example the performance of rituals in temples or in churches. Generally, they are performed with purpose of material benefit, but that is not in the mode of goodness. You may see sometimes in temples you say you do this particular do, you do that, you do so though these are sanskar, no, not sanskar, these are vidhis that are practiced in the temple. We have to understand with what intention, with what mm, mm, intention is one thing, and with what goal. Yeah, these both play a very important role. One should go to a temple or church as a matter of duty, offer respect to the Supreme Lord, and offer flowers and eatables without any purpose of obtaining material benefit. Usually, there is this archana, there is this arati. You pay a token or a ticket, and then you can practice these kind of um so to say, maybe we can say Navavida Bhakti, yeah. But what is the intention behind that? So it means something like we have a framework of how we can lead a life which is devotional, but if our desire is not devotional, then it is not devotional service or devotional activity or devotional practices. This is more a kind of a materialistic way of using the scriptures so that you can say, okay, in the scripture, if you do this, you're getting this. If you do that, you get that. If you do this. So, based on that platform, if one performs sacrifices, and that too, yeah, everyone thinks that there is no use of in going to temple just to worship God. Uh, Of course, I don't know about you all, but I used to go every Saturday, Thursday, or Monday, like a one day, and yeah, I used to go without missing that, making it as a habit, um, so that at least this day we are remembering, and maybe we are choosing the best day of the week of that particular God because we are thinking, okay, I want the best result, so I'm going to choose that day which he is more merciful, he is more worshipped, he is more easily pleased. So in all these things, it's everything is nice, but what is our intentions behind worship? Why do we go? Is it okay? I want a very happy life. It's that okay? All my desires can be fulfilled. Is it for my good grade in my studies? Is it because of and then we miss a very important point. Yeah, important point. Someone want to say something, or No, I see. No. So we miss an important important point is that the scriptural injunctions have a purpose, but um, we think ourselves uh, intelligent, we think ourselves very smart, and we think that we can overcome any kind of challenge for our material well-being, so that we can be pleased and things can go on. So, but when we are talking about visiting a temple, hmm, visiting a temple, it's not to be driven by some ulterior interest. The interest should not be that I'm going to a temple so that, oh, Lord will glance upon me and then I'm purified. Uh, it is that Lord is going to make me, make my all dreams come true. It's not that. We go and have the darshan of the Lord. The question is, are we going to bother Him with what we want, or are we going to see that we want to offer Him services? Because the Lord, though He is completely self-satisfied person, He doesn't need anything, but He is very happy when His servants are offering Him service. And this can be the service of hearing His glories, singing His glories, um, or remembering Him, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. And then comes Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam. So there are these ways, but the intention is not that what I am going to get, the intention is what I can offer to the Lord. And again, immediately a question comes because we have so much trained ourselves here. Pratik Prabhu, if you're putting something in the bank, we are expecting some returns, right? You're thinking some interest I'll get, or if you invest in something, you are expecting some returns. And even in sacrifices, now we're talking about when sacrifices can be seen as a charities, or it can also, yeah, sacrifice um, is also considered as donations. Sacrifices can be seen as what do you call donations? Um, this animal sacrifice is also sacrifice. Donation or charity is also sacrifice, or performance of yajnas, yeah, um, which is yeah done by the brahmanas is a sacrifice. So in all these sacrifices, and of course there are special, yeah, if you see sanskaras, there are also sacrifices, and you may have heard the sacrifices to please Shanidev, sacrifice to please Rahu, I don't know about Rahu, yeah, this Navagrahas. Yeah, there are homas that are performed to pacify, to please, to. So, under what category does this come? Hmm. Is this we can see is when we are doing this, the general tendency is to offer sacrifice with a purpose in mind, but here it is stated that sacrifice should be performed without any such desire. It should be done as a matter of duty. Huh? One should go to temple or church as a matter of duty of a respect to the Supreme Lord. That is his main point. So if you are saying that um, one should not go for any desires to ask the Lord for fulfill, not to take, not to take. Why should we go? We should go to do what? Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam. To Vandanam means to offer services to offer these Shodasha Upacharas. If we are eligible, qualified, we can do, or if we are not qualified, we should get these services done to the Lord through the priest, through the pujaris. But again, what I said was the intention and the goal is very important. And um, Archanam Vanam. And then Dasyam, the purpose is to not just pay what we have earned, and then we think that we have served. Of course, if these sevas are done with what we have paid, yeah, this is nice. But what is that personal service that we render to the Lord? Whether it is cleaning the floor or washing the pots or cooking, singing, dancing, whatever, everything should be with the intention of what? The purpose of purpose should not be for material benefit, hmm, but out of respect that we want to offer to the. Why should we offer respect to the Lord? Respect is a very important etiquette. What is the purpose of offering respect is to regard someone great in our life, to appreciate one's greatness that we have felt in our life, to appreciate the um, mm, the contribution, yeah, the or opportunity we can call that the Lord or someone has given. So we see we are so much indebted. Just like if you are in a big crisis and you are bankrupt and you don't know what to do, and yeah, it's almost like a deadly situation that you can't turn anywhere. Then comes a friend who is saying, "Ha, don't worry. After all, friendship is something. So I'm giving you some money. Yeah, so clear your debts." Uh, and of course, this person is not expecting whether he is giving him immediately, later, or whatever. He just want to make sure that the friend is out of danger. The friend is again saved and again able to enjoy his life. So, to such person, one should be always indebted. And though he's a friend, he's the person, yeah, he's not like, hey, what we are talking about, very intimate friend, but nevertheless, there is aspect of appreciation and indebtedness, which means if there is any, oh, it's here. In 1 second, please. I have to keep an eye on my phone. Okay, I'm back. Where am I? So, yeah, we have a great sense of indebtedness, and we say that I can't even repay, even if I do. Yeah, if you have given me 50,000 euros, I can give you 50,000 euros, but that indebtedness continues for life, or even sometimes life after life. Why? Because he has helped me. Of course, this we are talking at a material stand point of view, but what favor that Lord has given us is uh, uh, beyond this. He has given facilities, first of all, uh, this body, and suitable so that we can exercise our aspiration, the real aspirations to go back to Godhead. So such an opportunity is given, so he is to be worshipped. Yeah, when we say respect, the topmost respect is actually worshipping the Lord. And yeah, sorry, the worship is an expression or the topmost expression of respecting a person. How do we do? For example, when there is a prime minister who is coming, one makes sure that all the streets are clean. Uh, One is making sure that there is absolute security there. Garlands are arranged, nice meeting sessions are arranged, food, everything is taken, providing the best class of service one can do. Why? Because he is the one who is looking after the policy, he is the one who is maintaining, he is the one who is administrating everything. So for that reason, yeah, he's appreciated, he is given respect, and one who has felt that because of his governance, one's life has been smooth or purposeful or saved, he feels indebted, and his respect is not just respecting as per the protocols or the dharma, but he goes a step above. This actually we'll talk about that maybe after finishing the three kinds of sacrifices because of the three kinds of modes. So here we see visiting a temple can always be a subject. Why? Because it can confuse us. Are we supposed to? What kind of thoughts then should I have when I'm going? Huh? Is that should I ask or not? If I ask, am I in these modes? So here, shouldn't I ask anything? If I don't ask anything, why should I go? So everyone thinks that there is no use in going to temple just to worship God. When they think, hey, when I'm not going to ask anything from the Lord, why should I even go and do something? But worship for economic benefit is not recommended in scripture injunctions. One should go simply to offer respect to the deity. That will place one in the mode of goodness. Even this immediate benefit of one going and worshipping the Lord is to be in the mode of goodness. One may think, oh, if I am going, then that is the purpose. Yes, after all, we are not just saying that don't go to temple or go to temple without any purpose. The purpose should be very helpful for our journey back home. That means a person who is in the mode of passion, he will need many lifetimes to really come to this mode of goodness or even above. Huh? So how is that possible? One should know what kind of charities or sacrifices one is doing. Visiting a temple, by going there, one is in the atmosphere, in the environment which is surcharged with mode of transcendental goodness, which is Suddha Sattva. And it is the duty of every civilized man to obey the injunctions of the scriptures and offer respect to the supreme personality of Godhead. Otherwise, we can see, I mean, the purpose. I always see this chapter is so nice. This and the previous one is to understand how is our faith and um, what is our inclination. Are we in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance? And our actions, our activities can tell us in which mode we are. Uh, Abhisandhaya to phalam. So he's saying the desire, abhisandhaya, is desiring to phalam, results. Dambhartam api chaivayat. Damba, uh, artham for the sake of pride. So sometimes we see, right? There are people who are so rich. They are so rich, and they say, yes, we can give donations. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, 5 lakh, 10 lakh rupees. That's not much, or even they'd say all is fine, but please make sure that this is on my name. Dambhartam apichaiva yat ajyate bharata shrestha tam yagyam vidhi rajasam. That kind of sacrifice is in the mode of passion. What kind of is it? Sometimes sacrifice and rituals are performed for elevation to heavenly planets or for some material benefits in this world. Some, I think, I have referred this example. Sometimes we see some politicians perform some kind of um, they see after all scriptures are there. Karma kanda means it is telling you you do this, you get that. You do this, you will get this. For 15 weeks, you do that, you get this. There is Tantra Vidhi, there's so much is there. It is not easy to gauge the depth of the Vedic scriptural mm, uh, sources. Yeah, there's not sources, subjects. Yeah, there's so much available. Sometimes sacrifice and rituals are performed for elevation. If you ask, why are you doing this? Yeah, this is mentioned in so and so. In if you do that, you get this. If you do this, you get that. It is there. But so if one wants to become a ruler, then he can do this. He can please that. I think we came across the whole list by pleasing whom, what you get, all these things, so that one can enjoy material world more comfortably, longer, because then you have a long life. You Ayush Homa is something for done for the long life of a person, or Shanti Homa is for the peace of person. Yeah, all these things are there, but actually to facilitate. There is no wrong if a person wants to live very, very long and also very, very peacefully and also very, very prosperously. All these things are there, but the purpose of all these things is that every moment of our life we are remembering the Lord, we are worshiping the Lord, so that mm, every quantity of the life is filled with quality of life. Otherwise, what happens is we can live long, we can also, yeah, may we be blessed like Bhishma Dev that I choose when I want to die. I think Bhishma had a purpose to live, to make sure that Hastinapur is secure in the hands of Yudhishthir, and then he left. What will we do? Huh? If we had that Ichha Mrityu award, as soon as a big challenge comes in our life, we think, oh, this is an opportunity. Now I can have a peaceful suicide. Huh? Don't have to jump, don't have to hang, don't have to put ourselves in electric, anyway, all this nonsense. Ichha Mrityu, hey, Lord, uh, suffering is enough. Huh? I want to come, uh, I want to die. So these purposes of worshipping, uh, we are seeing this kind of is actually very the sacrifice or ritualistic performances. Where is the appreciation of the Lord? Lord, of course, we are appreciating His greatness because we think, oh, by pleasing Him, I am blessed. If He is happy, I am going to be happy. So that is the intention. If that is the intention, then what happens is um, we uh, are we not kind of a businessman? Hmm. Yeah, we can pause here. What other thoughts? What do others say? Are we not kind of thinking give and take? I'm very sure Pratik Prabhu would have these um, questions when he sees people are doing so many things, but is it right or wrong? No?
Yes, Prabhuji. All of those, what you have mentioned just now. Yes.
Yeah. That itself says that you are in the mode of goodness. I mean, this is, as I said, these chapter 16, 17 can help us as a checklist in what mode we are predominatively positioned. Uh, a person who is thinking, hey, what is this all in the name of religion, in the name of, all these sanskaras, or in the name, so many things are done with intention of businessman mentality. And here we see that such sacrifices which are done for the sake of pride, sometimes this dominate. This pride is so much disturbing. Why? Because this is the, of course, the purpose why we have come to the material world, right? If we didn't have the sense of pride, if we thought that, hey, I'm genuinely the servant of the Lord, then we wouldn't have been in this world. Why? Because this world is the place for people who want to boss, who want to, what is the word usually we come lord over. We want to lord over everything that we are. Yeah, even if, yeah, I was, what do you call, um, yeah, we know that someone is regarded great if someone is coming from the, coming first, and then uh, some people they say, "Hey, first from the last is also a recognition. So better I try the other one." So this pride is for the sake of pride. So many things are done for the sake of material benefits. These are done. Then it's just a matter of mode of passion. As long as we are in the mode of passion, um, am I there?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to hit another button. So and then vidhinam, ashwatanam, uh, mantrahinam, adakshinam. Adakshinam means dakshinam is very important aspect in the in the Scriptural injunctions emphasize that if you visit a temple or if you invite a priest to come to do some yagyas or anything, one should give dakshina. Hmm. But if one does it and he thinks, hey, yeah, after all, uh, uh, it is the duty of Brahmanas. Yes, it is the duty of Brahmanas to do this, and for that, why should we give it? As soon as we sense this, na, if someone has to do his duty, then we may think, okay, I don't have to pay for it. Hmm. So, and this vidihinam, this is the intention. This is the conclusion that one who doesn't understand the scriptures, one who is not following the scriptures, and he is thinking of his own self. It says Asrita Annam without distributing prasadam and mantrahinam with no chanting of Vedic hymns, adakshinam uh, with no remuneration to the priest, shraddha, virahitam, no faith. Yeah, no faith. It's not faith, it's just a matter of ritual. I don't, come on, I don't believe God itself, but okay, as a formality, as an obligation, uh, as maybe, who knows, if at all there is zero 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 zero, so 1% is there, that there can be, that can be true, that scriptural injunctions say what is about Lord is fact. So why to take a risk? After all, I've spent so much money, so much effort to earn a lot of money. Now, if by doing something to save all these assets, that's fine. So let me invite a priest for the housewarming ceremony. And after the housewarming ceremony is done, when the priest asks, he said, no, you have to live on donations. Or actually, hey, priest means simplicity. You don't have to have anything. Hmm? No, if you see the times when monarchical rule was there, there was that brahmanas were regarded very high. They were given, the brahmanas need not beg. Uh, Everything was taken care by the administrators. So, any sacrifice performed without regard for directions of scriptures, without distribution of prasadam, spiritual food, without chanting of Vedic hymns and remuneration to the priest, and without faith is considered to be in the mode of ignorance. In the purport, Prabhupada is saying, faith in the mode of darkness or ignorance is actually faithlessness. See, faith in the mode of darkness or ignorance is actually faithlessness. Means an act that you are doing with what faith that the other things won't work, it's called faithlessness. Sometimes people worship some demigod just to make money and then spend the money for recreation, ignoring the scriptural injunctions. That is also uh, such ceremonial shows of religiosity are not accepted as genuine. They are all in the mode of darkness. They produce a demonic mentality and do not benefit human society. I don't know if I can say this, but I still say sometimes we come across there are some gatherings. There are some gatherings where everyone is saying, "Hey, we are doing uh, some sevas to the Lord." Um, mm, and No, maybe not save us to. Let's say, oh, let us all come together to celebrate Sankranti, Ugadi, Dasara, these festivals. It's all fine, right? Where you want to do some puja part um, and all can come together. Yeah, then yeah, but somehow I don't know if it's so much seen in India, but we see in other parts of the world where yeah, you start creating this as a utsav or as a mela, or kind of, there's a whole counters that are rented out. Yeah, one can book a small space for himself where he can, yeah, he can do anything. It's like a fair, yeah. In India also we see, whenever there are festivals, there is uh, in our language we call jatara. What is it called? Maybe another in Hindi. Varsanalila Mataji.
Mela.
Mela is the right word.
Yes, yes. Mela is the right one.
Okay.
So Mata Mela or something we say.
Yeah, yeah.
Sham Mela or something.
Some
Everything is.
Mela. Mela is Mela not festival there then? It's a Mela on the occasion of festival.
Jatra. It is similarly like Jatra because in that every all stalls will be there, then rides will be there. It is like
Yes.
that.
Yeah, it's like that. Okay. So Mela is the right word. So usually we see that the shops are not selling prasadam, right? Hmm? Uh, I don't know. Anyone? Apu Prabhu? You may have gone to this, or Parth Prabhu. I think you have also been into one of few such melas happened, right? I think the food court space is place where one is making business of selling whatever they are expert at, but I think they don't first offer it to the Lord and then they supply that.
Yes, Prabhuji, there are many festival and usually Mataji said it's Mela. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's not a prasad. So they prepare food, maybe vegetarian food or maybe sattvic food, that doesn't matter, but they do not offer to Lord and they sell it.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
from the temple or where they organize it, there is no such arrangement of distributing prasadam to all the visitors.
Mhm. That will be there maybe within the temple limits, but actually everything around, it's only business, right?
Yes.
I have a colleague who worked for me. He was working for TCS. Then yeah, he left TCS because he got a job in some part of South Germany near Passau, I think, or somewhere. Yeah, somehow he settled there, and again he moved here. You know, last. Yeah, we went to Dashara, right? To Frankfurt. We all went there. Where there in the behind the stage there were all these food courts, and I somehow accidentally saw him. And then I asked, "Hey, how are you?" And he said, "Oh, sir, I didn't know that you are coming here. Otherwise, I would have called to our stall." And then he was saying, "Yeah." I asked, "Oh, do you do this often?" He said, "No, this is first time, but I made quite some money." And what I asked, what did you make? He said, "I make this churmuras or something. Yeah, just all this chat stuff that you can get." And then yeah, there's a lot of demand, of course, right? No one has time to make at home, and if someone is making ready-made, and that's how we have been enjoying in India. That's what we want to once again. Yeah, whatever we miss, we want it, right? Right. So we are ready to pay anything, and the one who is making a good business case can earn more. Anyway, that's not the point here. The point here is when we are doing things, yeah, of course, one may think, yeah, while there is we are thinking, yeah, that is the point I want to mention it. Though the focus was what? To celebrate Dasara, but not all who came were with the same intention to please Ma Durga or Ganesh or Shivji or sometimes what it is very easy to slip from that path of being renounced from asking material desires. Pratik Prabhu, isn't it? Even we may have great intention, yes, 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 we shouldn't do all these because this is now very low level of worship, and this is not at all a scriptural way of worship and all. And but sometimes what may happen is one who is advancing, he will also be under a test, right? If one is in the mode of goodness, he is always under test, isn't it? Hmm? A person he's in the mode of passion, he has no problem because anyway, his levels of tests are very simple. Whether at least he is in coming to mode of goodness, that's enough. For a person who is in the mode of goodness, his tests are more. Why? Because he is qualifying himself for a higher understanding. So, which means he also need to have a lifestyle which is of a high quality. So, the sacrifices that we perform should be of a high quality, which means uh, if mm, if um, if we have a ladder that we are taking to, then our eyes should be up, to see up. Oh, where are we going? That is very important. Uh, Rather, I think you know this, right? If someone is on a high heights, usually if he see down, he gets more scared. Rather than his eyes should be up, so that that's how you maintain to be high. Your goal should be high. You are working to be high, and you don't have to explicitly make sure that you are uh, um, free from the lower hankerings or lower. If you always are focusing above, then automatically, as we are going above and above, then automatically we are going away from the lower sides of our own thoughts, which means if we are in association of devotees, then our aspirations are devotional aspirations. So that doesn't come into mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. It is above all these things or even beyond. And that's what we should strive, because it's very difficult for ourselves to be in the mode of goodness with all the um yeah, samskaras that are there, or shastras that are there. Jnana Shastra. Yeah, yesterday we were discussing about Jnana Shastra is yama, niyama. Yeah, so this is also how to regulate oneself and all these things. But we cannot stay in that for a long time because there is so much hankerings, there is so much longing for enjoyment, because that is coming from pride. uh, we are coming to this world with this expectation of all that, and we are in a uh, alien. mm, yeah, we are actually aliens to this world. That's why it becomes very difficult to live our natural life in this natural material world. This material world, nature itself is dukkhalayam ashashvatam, isn't it? But our nature is not dukkha. Yeah? We are Satchit Ananda. Sat Chit Anand. Somehow, in a very, very minute quality, or in that is covered when we are in the Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam mode. It is something like you are diving into waters, then you need all these cylinders, scuba diving, whatever. As soon as the oxygen is gone, then you can't survive there. So we, as a soul in its pure state, in its Vasudeva state, is that we are spirit souls. We are anyway actually naturally happy, but because we have come under the limits of these modes of passion, ignorance, and even goodness, they have tied us. And when we are tied in these three modes, then what we are doing is we are jumping from one branch to the other branch to the other branch, just like a monkey is going. In the end, it is still in the same forest, right? Maybe it's moving or maybe it's going to other forest, but it's just jumping here and there. It's not ending the business of jumping. It's not ending the business of transmigration of one from one life to the other life, one being to the other life. So this all, if one is doing yajnas and all this in the mode of expectation in and even scriptural with the scriptures, but not understanding the purpose of scriptures is Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Yeah, and other what is that? Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram Sahrada Sarvadehnam. What is that last? Shantim Richati. Um, yeah. Um, Yeah, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhrasa Sarva Dehinam. I am the grantor of peace. I forgot that word. So it says that Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. So we see that Lord Vishnu, who is the one who is accepting the yajnas, uh, is anyway he is pleased, and anyway when he is pleased, He will anyway take care of us. We don't have to have an explicit prayers. Oh Lord, please take care of me. Uh, I'm suffering in this material world. I have bad day at my work. My manager is that. My wife is this. My brother is that. My father is this. So many things. Yeah. Just imagine if one person has so many um, challenges that he can open a whole list of what he want. All he can see everything as a suffering. Yeah, it is said that one doesn't show a list of problems to the Lord, but one shows the Lord to the problems of list of problems, which means that these problems are not big in front of the my Lord. We may think the problems are bigger than the Lord. No. Uh, So a devotee is coming to this platform where he is appreciating that my responsibility, my duty is to follow the scriptural junctions so that I can please the Lord, I can serve the Lord, nothing else. I am not a Brahman, I am not a Kshatriya, I am not a ruler. And there is this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, is finally concluding, Bhartor, dasanu dasanu das. One should come to this Bhagavad understanding, which is that uh, I am eternal servant of the Lord, not even servant of the Lord, servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord, which means service is the means through which one can. And as long as we are in this material world, it doesn't mean that we are not, it doesn't mean that we are disqualified to to lead a devotional life. It doesn't mean that one should go to a spiritual world and then practice bhakti. No, one can practice bhakti here itself while one is living in the material world. He can be free from material conditioning, which means if one is chanting seriously, sincerely, and then that chanting should elevate one to the platform of mm, freedom from this material entanglement, even while one is in this world. That's why we see the saintly people, sadhus and swamis, maharajas. Yeah, they don't. They, yeah, we see there is paramahamsas, and we don't see they are under any influence of this because though they have two hands, two legs, head, just like us, but they are very very special because they are always connected to the spiritual energy in the form of their services. They offer services, whether it is preaching by traveling all around the world, or by staying in the dham where they are cooking and nothing else. They are cooking only for the Lord. Yeah, Vibhu Chaitanya Prabhu was mentioning, and so many. These are the ways. That means a common man, for him, he will just can't believe. Uh, we can see some people that, hey, I think, hey, this person doesn't have sex in his life. Come on, either he has a biological, what do you call, um, biological issue. No, yeah, because nowadays we have what is this called, LG LGBTE.
TQ plus.
What is that?
LGBTQ.
Uh,
Q plus, yeah.
so
LGBT,
maybe.
ABCD, EF, GH, IJ, KL, MN,
Yes,
OP,
A
QRST.
to Z. He is one of these A to Z, and yeah, maybe because of that. Otherwise, come on, sex is very important part. How can one can be so much uh, controlled? I think he has a disorder. That is a common man perspective. Whereas devotional devotees perceive this as, hey, see how he has regulated his life, that he has when we talk about Haridas Thakur, we see that, hey, when a prostitute comes, oh my God, how difficult it is to control senses. Impossible, yeah, not even impossible. But for devotees, it is possible. Why? Because they are not in the mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. That is the level. That is the level of the devotees where, yeah, they are in this material world. When we are seeing through our eyes, we can see them, but doesn't mean that we are able to see how great they are. Our eyes are very, very, our mind is narrow-minded. Our eyes are, mm, yeah, blind. We are not, short vision. Sorry. Is there a word short vision or Far sight, and what is the opposite of far sight?
Short sight.
But short sight is something else, no? It is a problem of eyes power. Short sight, narrow-minded is one, and similarly
Nearsightedness also we say, Prabhuji.
nearsightedness. Huh? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm also using these sessions for picking up my language skills. Um, yeah, so that is a person who cannot see. What can he appreciate? When he cannot see, he cannot believe. When he cannot have believe, then he will just see what from his position, what he thinks is right. That is everything. That is the reason, one of the reason why so many um, levels of worships are there. Someone is in the mode of ignorance, he is worshipping. Some there is this Puranas, right? You can see there is a Puranas which in the mode of ignorance, mode of passion, mode of good. Come on, why should the scriptures have three kinds of scriptures? Why? Because our levels are like that. A person who is in the passion, he is able to appreciate how to use the scriptures to elevate from the mode of passion. So he need those books, and the books that are there are in the mode of ignorance or people will not read anyway. Yeah, one who is ignorant, who want to be in ignorance, he prefers to sleep, he's lazy and all, he will not even prepare all. But they say no, 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 if you do this small thing, uh, pretas, there is a lot of power in pretas, in ghosts, goblins. They can give you so much. Oh, is it? If I just do small thing, I can get so much. We see how this asuras they are worshipping. What they want, everyone want Lakshmi, everyone want powers, and yeah. But for what? So that yeah, they can have a great. um Mm, what do you call great great fund of happiness that it is there forever, uh, and he can be in that slumber forever. So these sacrifices out of these three kinds, and at least a good thing is if one is in the mode of goodness, he is coming to the temple regularly. He's as a matter of duty. It's not because of coming and opening the list. That this Pandora box, you open the lock and immediately you start reading one by one. You know what? I have this problem. I have that problem. Oh Lord, please save me. Huh? And often we come across this question. I don't know if let's start the question and answers. And if this question doesn't come, I'll ask that and to see what are your thoughts. So let's begin. Yeah, if someone has any questions or thoughts you want to share.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mm-hmm. Was that Parth Prabhu or Suryatesh Prabhu? I don't know who was that.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It's me, Pratik.
Pratik Prabhu. Mm-hmm.
Uh, so, yes, thanks for the class, and I've learned some things about how should one worship and what should the mentality or attitude should be. Uh, but previously, what generally have the issue, or I used to, or I still think that first is one should not have envy, that one should control that feeling. So I still have it, maybe. Uh, I still have it, of course, but I will try to control that. Then that led to, yeah, comparing with others and what others are doing, and still what success they are getting. So that way, I used to uh, analyze things. Um, but well, the question is, yeah. First of all, I should not do it, right? Uh, I don't have any question, but just yeah, just mentioning.
So first, let's check. I mean, you might be right, but let's check. What is your definition of envy?
Um, when someone is envy, okay. it's like a feeling of if someone is having something, to have that kind of thing.
Okay. So what you say, if someone has it, I think you're already comparing there, right?
Yeah.
So what I understood is you said that you know what is envy and you are able to control it, but after that you are coming to this with comparison. So comparison is part of envy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am not able to control it. I'm just saying that I have to, or I will have to try
So are
more.
you asking how to handle envy? Is that your question?
No, I understood the flow of things. If I am having that, then I will have something else, that the analysis, and
Mm-hmm.
then I will have this wrong way of worshipping,
Okay.
to ask God, because I should be in the first place
Okay.
grateful of what I am having,
Mm-hmm.
and think of the bigger picture, that what I have done in my past,
Yeah.
whatever, and that's the very bigger world scenario where
Mm-hmm.
I am right now, that I cannot analyze. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. So when we are talking about scriptural, again, you have just like if I'm telling science subject, yeah, you can have sciences. What do you call this? Uh, they don't call just sciences. They call political science and anyway. If we talk about any subject, maths. Yeah, let's maths is easy. So maths is there in class one, class two, class three, in all classes, even PhD and after PhD also. It's not that he has finished, right? There is still always there is still more than what we have known. We are still finding there is more mathematics through which mathematics remits are increasing, increasing, increasing. Hmm? Agreed?
Yes, 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 sir.
So, when we are talking about this envy or any quality, or when we go and visit temple, now I know, yeah, okay, we cannot say, okay, let me study. I have studied in fourth class, in seventh class, there is arithmetics. And if I'm thinking, hey, now I know arithmetics, it is my foolishness because when I go to the eighth class, I also see there is arithmetics. When I came to the ninth, there was calculus, which is replacing arithmetics, but it doesn't mean that arithmetics I know everything because there is also PhD students research who do on arithmetics, right?
Mm-hmm.
The point I'm mentioning here is to bring understanding that just by reading books which are in the tamasic or rajasic or sattvic doesn't mean that we have studied everything. I should become the perfect expert in these shastras that can still make us may position us to be in these three modes. How expertly we can lead, or according to the scriptures. But that is not the ultimate because there is higher than that. There is this postgraduate study, one way say is Bhagavatam, doesn't mean that, okay, um, that this is there and beyond that there is something else. It is said that one who takes shelter of Bhagavatam, nothing else is needed. Hmm? When we are turning to the Bhagavatam, then all these challenges or shortcomings will be taken care because we are getting the right jnana, which is bhakti marga, by taking into the process of bhakti, then all these things are corrected. Our thoughts, na, from childhood we have been seeing the world that okay, everyone is rushing to the temples on the festival times. Wow, it's so nice. Yeah, we should also go. But with what intention? Hmm? With what intention? Oh, that's what we read when we are reading Bhagavatam. When we are, of course, no, all books are there. All books might have the same. No, there are books which are telling like what you do, what you get. But then there are books which are telling, hey, is it really doing to get something? Some says no, you don't need to get anything. But is that right? If that is the right, yeah, when we're talking akarma, akarma means you do something, but something is given to the Lord, means something you are getting, right? But you are offering to the Lord as a matter of duty. So all these things, when we are reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, we are getting the perfect understanding of it. Of course, it doesn't mean just because I started Bhagavad Gita, read one time, 5 times, Bhagavatam I have read 20 times, whatever. It still there is a full there is a um, still a lot that these offer. For example, the chapter that we are reading now, if you read again after reading the whole Bhagavad Gita, yeah, your understanding is more deeper, isn't it? Huh? So there is a gulf of difference between the scriptures that we are reading, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, to all other things. Whether you read about astrology, people can inject something, numerology, they can. Anyway, I don't want to either vouch or de-vouch to any of these things, but I'm saying there is so much. And it is said that when we are taking to bhakti, automatically non-bhakti activities are gone, right? For example, when you're eating, yeah, your lunch. When you eat your lunch, if it is prasadam, then you're taking Krishna prasadam. At the same time, are you able to eat non-prasadam? No, what you're eating is prasadam, right? So our activities, the more and more we are making them spiritual. And again, when we are saying spiritual, spiritual in real essence is that which is conducive for our spiritual growth, which is making us appreciate our own self, the science of self realization, and all these things to understand our own self. So, these things can help us to to station ourselves strong and not get disturbed by all the other things. This there are six enemies are there. What are these? Kama, Krodha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, and I forgot one thing. Kama, Krodha, Moha,
Lob.
Lobha. Yeah, greed. Yeah. So these things will be there. Yeah, it is there. It by nature these are there. As soon as we took this material world, we took uh, uh, our form in this material world, in this material form, it is there. But what we are doing is we are tapping to a higher energy or tapping to a higher or a real transcendental platform due to which we can become immune from all these so that these don't grow much, and when they don't grow much then we identify ourselves. So then this envy of comparison, yeah, then definitely I will compare. Comparison has a role to play. I compare to appreciate others, oh how great they are. Hmm? I appreciate if someone has got something materially or spiritually, I appreciate that because he is, yeah, blessed by the Lord for a good purpose. Yeah. If someone is stealing, robbing, and all, yeah, that is his sthiti, the Lord has allowed. And then we see what happened to Valmiki. Ratnakar became Valmiki. A thief became a saint, a poet of that class that, yeah, Ramayana. How can it is still we are hearing, reading, singing, right? Hmm? Usually, what we do is we start saying, oh, okay, other person is, I think, did he do masters? No. Did he do masters in Germany? No. And but still, how can he earn more than me? Huh? So this comparison is not helping us anyway. The comparison should be that, oh, okay, see, Lord, Lord, you are so merciful that even if someone has that interest, you are even fulfilling that. I have no problem if someone becomes so rich because ultimately that rich is not a matter of me. I'm not interested in that. I'm more interested in how I can serve the Lord, how I can please the Lord. So if we have this, then we can be focused on what we want to do. uh, Whether it is material comparison or even sometimes we can have this comparison in devotees. Devotees comparison is also dangerous, yeah, even more dangerous than other things because Lord is saying, hey, What is this childish mentality that you all want to serve me, but I don't see that spirit of serving me, but you are serving your own interest. That is even big bogus, huh? Where then one is start showing himself great, and then this pride is more dangerous. Even in devotees, why? Because devotees, we are aspiring devotees. We are aspiring to become best in whatever service we are offering to the Lord. Again, this best doesn't mean we want to surpass others. Best, na? What is the meaning of best? Is superlative, na? Only one person can be. Yeah. But from a spiritual point of view, everyone can be best because everyone is unique. Pratik Prabhu, you are unique. Huh? Apu Prabhu is unique. Dwaraka Vasini is unique. Person, everyone is unique, and you can be best of what you can. If everyone were not, it's not like a what do you call? What is the science called? Statistics, right? Yeah, you have all these interpolations and all superlative positions, all these things. We are not that. We are subjects. Yeah, we are subjects which are uh, Tatastha Shakti. We are not just like some mm, bulbs. I think this is what I remember. Yeah, we used to get these problems now in the exams. There is 1.0.7% of the bulbs are faulty, and you can say anyway. So I don't know if I am touching what you asked actually. Maybe I'm speaking something else. Please let me know.
Yes, Prabhuji, I understood. Within discussion, I understood like envy is one of the root problem. But understanding you, what I understand that envy will be there, or envy, greed, all these
Yeah,
aspects will be there. But yeah, still
yeah,
we have to slowly try
yeah.
to make it in positive way by yeah, getting good information.
We
Yeah,
are in the world, as I said, now I get the scuba divers. When they dive in the waters, they have oxygen, which means though we are in this world, we have to connect to that. In the diver is connected with oxygen, we have to connect with spiritual energy of the Lord. Yeah. So then what happens is, though we are here, we survive. Otherwise, what will happen is that slowly, we cease to have our own main priority as things, and then we start seeing others. And if others are flourishing, we start also running behind those. If someone has name and fame, I will also want to have name and fame. If someone has wealth, I also want to have wealth. If someone has that, I also want to have. Yeah, this all having, na, is not going to take us where we want to go.
yes,
Yep.
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The best thing is to be always, yeah, as I said, uh, comparing can help us if we really appreciate the value of the real comparison. Yeah. I'm not saying comparison is very bad. Comparison can help us to know how one is great. We can use that for that purpose. Just like we see how Hanumanji is using anger by burning Lanka. These things are there. When we're talking about Hanumanji had, who are we? Yeah, in our language there is a saying, um, uh, how can you jump in front of Hanuman? We know how a big leap that Hanuman jumped, right? From this Mahendra Parvat, he just jumped, and then with one leap he could cross many miles. What is our how much high can we jump?
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, one more question then. In chapter 4 or 5, we understand that we are like Jiva,
Mm-hmm.
Paramatma, and nature. All of these three are doing the karma.
Mm-hmm.
So if we are not
No, no, no.
having,
Where is that mentioned? But that all the three are doing karma?
means when we say we are doing karma, but we are not doing karma. Three things are doing karma. That is in chapter 4 or 5.
I think what you are referring is about karma, akarma, and vikarma.
Okay.
And if you are saying about that, karma is something that a jiva, yeah, because he is in conditioned stage, he is doing something. But in the pure form, karma is not in the limits of the spirit soul. So Paramatma is not doing any karma. We can't say because Lord Ram has um, made fun of Manthara, because of that he is suffering. You know what I'm saying? Because when Ram was a in his childhood time, while playing with his brothers, he shot an arrow to the nose of Manthara, and then this fell down, and everyone started laughing. And he shot another arrow. This nose pin again got back, but Manthara became very insulted, and that day is the day when she started, you know what, and that's why she found the time when Kaikeyi, through Kaikeyi, by asking those boons, she has taken a revenge. And Ram, because of that, because his karma, what he has done, he is suffering, that he had to go to the forest. No, Lord Ram is not at all touched by karma. It is not that, because of this. Yes, there is on one side there is Leela, yeah, and all the activities of the Lord, though they seem to be like this, but these are all carried under the energy called Yoga Maya, his internal potency. So I first thing, this is clear that Lord is not in the limits of karma. Okay.
Prabhuji, means I don't remember. I think it was five or four. In that, I was listening to Madan Sundar Das Prabhu on this
Hmm.
chapter explanation. So
Okay.
the point was he gave that we are not doing karma, like whatever in karma yoga we are doing. So we should not have ego that I have done the karma, so I should take the
Yeah, yeah,
outcome of it. I should enjoy. So
yeah,
it
yeah.
is not you are doing; it's
Yeah.
Paramatma and the nature. So that's way
Yes,
he
you're
explained.
right. Now that's what I'm saying. The first thing is, so let's follow what I'm speaking, and then we refer to this what you've said. So far clear that Lord doesn't come in the limits of karma. Clear?
Yes.
Hmm. The next thing is about Jiva. The Jiva is called, is in Tatastha Shakti. Actually, Jiva, every Jiva is infinitesimal in quantity, but quality wise, he is same as the Lord. Oh, did I say something wrong? So quality of a jiva is spirit. So Atma, yeah, Paramatma and Atma both are of same nature. Means we also are karma free, which means ideally when we are engaged in the transcendental activities, every transcendental activity that we do or every spiritual activity we do that doesn't incur any karmic reaction. Okay, I'll go even slower. So when a being like you, like me, or anyone, when we are doing devotional service, because it is connected to the Lord, it is offering to the Lord the results, whatever we are doing. For example, when we are cooking bhoga, we are offering it to the Lord. This whole activity, as I said, it's an activity, it's not a passiveness, it's a real active uh, engagement. That's why it's an activity, but it's not any ordinary activity, but it's a devotional activity. That's what you are doing. When you are making everything, what are you doing? You are offering to the Lord, isn't it? Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Even if you go in a temple, you see, right? This is what happens after the cook is making all the preparations. That what is done? That is offered to the Lord. When one is doing a Griha Pravesha, housewarming ceremony, the ceremony itself is doing what? Is that one, the owner of the flat or the house is saying, "Oh Lord, you are the proprietor actually. Yeah, this house belongs to you, and I am your servant, that I as a servant I take care of this house." So in this examples we see that whatever we are doing, we are actually offering it to the Lord. And because of that offering to the Lord, the activity is no more a material activity. Means that activity is no more in the activities of the material nature. And such activities make one free from reactions. So a jiva, a living entity, a man, when he's doing a devotional service, he has no result, and that is what it's called akarma. And then comes the nature. You said no, the nature is also there. What about the nature is mm, nature is material nature we are talking here, and that nature is constituting of three modes of nature. Yeah, three modes, which is the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And any activity that are done in one of these three or combined, yeah, there's a whole complex possibilities. Then he is getting a result of that that goes to him, that he has to burn it out. So this is a third. So that's why in this class, what we are saying, that human, when he is doing material activity, then there are two possibilities. Either he is doing karma or vikarma. Karma means that he is doing for his higher material enjoyment, and vikarma is something that he is doing the harm to others, which means tomorrow he has to suffer the same or even more harm because he has violated the purpose of using or being in this material world. So that is how this karma siddhant is working, and it is not applied to the Lord level, and it is not even applied to human level. That's why it is said that it is that human has the choice whether he want to be conditioned in the material world, then he has to suffer or enjoy the material reactions, or he can always be on the platform of spiritual transcendental platform, then he doesn't have to suffer. The example given here is when a fire spark falls on um, dry grass, what happens? It burns. When this spark falls on earth, then it is not ceasing its existence immediately, but when it falls on water, then it immediately uh, perishes. So we can see the reactions of the spark in different cases, where the energy is falling accordingly. The fire is uh, mm, affected. So here, when we are saying about the jiva, when the jiva is always in this jiva being a spirit spark, which is atma nature, if he is engaging all transcendental activities or spiritual activities or devotional activities, that is considered like the fire in the spark in fire. It can only help us to maintain our existence in a more vibrant way. Whereas if we are engaging ourselves in activities which are materialistic, then what is happening is that is imposing us on that. And then we start thinking, okay, there is no more. Hey, come on, I don't accept there is God, and all these things come. And activities accordingly also will come. This is what is mentioned in Gita, where it says, Krishna is saying that a person who is having no faith, he will be pushed down, because he's not having accepting the spiritual essence. Then he goes more down, and yeah, adhogata. He goes more into the falls into the hellish conditions. Okay. Now coming back to your, I mean, so far these three cases are clear.
Yes, Babuji.
Now coming back, I mean, I didn't listen the one that you have mentioned directly, but what there it is said is the point at, though you are having these different reactions, it is still that Lord as Upadrashta and Anumanta. Without that, you can't suffer or you can't enjoy. So the point there is that to show that we are so much dependent on the Lord, even for whatever we are suffering or not suffering, which means even the activities that we are doing in a way have to be granted by the Lord. And after that, then whatever results are coming that are accrued to us. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So as Paramatma, Upadrashta and Anumanta, these are two the Lord is doing. Upadrashta is witnessing everything what we are doing, and Anumanta is that uh, he is the one who is granting our what we are aspiring. Yeah. After we do, this is just like a exam. You do you have given a first you're writing math paper, and after submitting everything, and you are waiting for grade, right? In the end, the result is not just only based on what you have written, it is based on the teacher who is correcting. You say, no, 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 we are having electronic system, then there is no faults. Who is building that electronic system can inject a fault. We don't know. No, right? There is Six Sigma project, there is 10 Sigma project, 11 Sigma. What does that Sigma is still telling? Stats are telling that it's not 100% foolproof. There is always a chance of error, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So there is no guarantee that what you have done because of that only that effort you are going to definitely get it. It is still the Lord who has to grant. Yeah. And sometimes I mean out of mercy of the Lord, sometimes we are granted what we want, and if Lord sees that this is not favorable, then He may not grant it. It is not just black and white. So there where we see that Paramatma, he is the one who is final. It is the final, the final judgment is done, right? In Supreme Court.
Yes,
Hmm?
sir.
The
That.
judgment is done by not you and me. It is done by the Lord. I mean, by the judge. So in our life also, it is not just you can tell that because of all the constitutional laws I have done this. In the end, whatever judge says, that is what to be followed. That is the position of Upadrashta and Anumanta. Yeah, I don't know if your question
Yes.
is actually addressed.
Uh, Prabhuji, the question was just, I will just complete the question for
Hmm.
my future knowledge.
Hmm.
So, when the Jiva or Atma is as per that understanding, when it is having some Ichha,
Hmm.
so then it is done by the whole nature and everything. So that Ichha now, as per the verses we have covered, so can we ask for those ichhas when doing worship, which will be for the service of Lord? Yeah, that was the question on the
Okay.
topic.
So as I mean, I don't know what are your ichhas, but as I said, if these are material ichhas, we get material results. If we have spiritual ichha, we have spiritual results. And from these three verses are only telling about material ichhas. Yeah. And uh, at a very qualitative the best of them is mode of goodness. This is what we see. So even if one is going to a temple, one is going to a temple not with asking some material things, but he is going as a matter of duty of showing his respect to the Lord and worshipping the Lord. And this goes more into uh, Suddha Sattva, yeah, which is beyond this mode of goodness. Only when we have no, the only intention is to please the Lord. There is nothing, yeah. There is this shloka in Nectar of Devotion that Anya Bhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmad Anavritam Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam Bhaktir Uttamam. The topmost bhakti is, yeah, worshipping the Lord when going to temple is Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Anya, no, Anya Abhilash means all, as you were referring, na, all the desires, Ichcha you were asking, na, Anya Abhilasha is to have so many Ichchas, which is not mainly of worshipping the Lord. Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Jnana Karma Anadi Avrit, Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. Jnana, maybe sometimes, yeah, we have Ichcha or desire, Lord, please give me knowledge, please give me Jnana Karma. Anavritam means also freedom from all this suffering. May my karma be good. That is what we may pray. So, Jnana Karma Adi Anavritam. Adi means not only Jnana Karma, Adi means any other. Anavritam, free from that. Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam. Anukulya. What is the best thing is, what is the real bhakti is Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam. whatever Krishna has said, uh, and doing favorably that, uh, bhaktir uttamam, that is topmost, best of bhaktis. So when we do that, that is what is free from all these mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. That ichcha we should have. We shouldn't go to a temple without ichcha. But what is that ichcha we should have is uh, anukulyena Krishnanushīlanam. I just want to serve because you have said to follow this, because as a servant I should do it. That is my duty, I do it. I want to make sure that you are happy. So that is what is the ichcha that we should have. It's not that we go, no ichcha, hey, come on, why to ask Lord anything? Huh? Yeah, no. Then whom are you going to ask for the blessings of advancement in spirituality? Who can give? Who has it? Only he can give, no? Hmm?
So, yes, sir.
Yeah, I think we have covered one full chapter with this question.
Thank
Yes.
you. Interesting.
Yeah. Thank you. Other thoughts, questions? Sarika Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hmm. I thought you'll come for this kids mela that's going on. Hmm.
Actually, Prabhuji, I could not come because this week only I was driving actually to Italy, to Villa Vrindavan,
Mm-hmm.
and coming back, it took what do you say?
Mm-hmm.
It was a bit
Okay.
exhausting for myself and kids,
Yeah. Hmm.
and so yeah, that's why we
Okay.
didn't come. Yeah.
Yeah. No worries. I think there are festivals coming up anyway, so we'll see
Yeah.
soon. Mm.
Yeah, sure,
Any
Prabhuji.
questions or comments from today? You or
Uh, First of all, thank you, Prabhuji, for the nice, commentary on on the Bhagavad Gita verses. Prabhuji, I was, uh, thinking. I think in one of the last lecture also I talked about it. Like one of the Prabhuji was talking about envy.
mm-hmm.
So, is there any like healthy envy also? Like, for
Yeah.
example,
Mm.
you say that, okay, uh, so, okay, some of the devotees are, uh, doing so much, and I am not able to do that much. I should
Mm.
also do it. Kind of. Is this also envy?
Yeah, but that's a dangerous envy. Why? Because you are in the material world and hankering for such a envy, and in the end, when
Uh-huh.
it comes up, you don't know what are you doing. Yeah, you're lost. I mean, at least there is a high danger that we are lost in understanding, um, because human tendency is still again carried away by material pulling, right? So even if you do that, wow, it's so
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I want to do it. If we are not careful while walking on that, yeah, path, we may just slip and fall. So
Yeah, that's
approach
true.
usually I have is focus on our own sadhana. Yeah. So I mean, unless you are able to digest the consequences of such competition. Sometimes, na? Sometimes people, yeah, 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 yeah. How many books
Yeah.
you are distributing? 1,000 books. Yes, I will distribute 1,500. After all, I'm distributing books, right? Spiritual books, or these are Bhagavad Gitas. Huh? You do, I do. I mean, this was there
Yeah.
in proper time. The chance for me to stand with sound spiritual consciousness, I don't count much on myself. So better I say, oh, nice, nice, Prabhu, you carry on. Uh, of course, it
Mhm.
may be,
So,
I may not attain a very good result because I'm not able to distribute so many books, but at least slow and steady kind of a guy. So for me, it's okay. But maybe if someone is very, can can overcome such challenges, then yeah, why not? Yeah, he can inspire others. He inspires himself. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
it's
we
of
can say that it's could not be like an envy. Then it's like you are getting inspired from others, and you want to do more.
that's why I said the role of
Like
comparison is definitely there, but
yeah,
we have to see
yeah,
how to define those this uh, s- influence of such influence of
mm,
envy,
mm,
and or devoid of influence of envy. You have to have your circumference for that.
mm.
Yeah, yeah.
True, true,
And we
Prabhuji.
can't just say, okay, now I have come across that Radharani and has and Chandravali. There are two who are serving Krishna, and both are having two different parties. And let me also create such a party that Sarika Mataji is leading one devotee group, and I will lead another devotee group. Let's fight who will serve Krishna best. Huh? So I prefer my Sarika Mataji. You do, I'll join your team.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, Prabhuji. Yeah, it's very clear. Like we get inspired, but we have our how do you say uh,
Challenges. Yeah.
challenges. Yeah,
Hmm.
and we stay with that, and we do our bhakti.
Hmm. Yeah,
The
competing can be because we have been conditioning for all these years, na, in understanding not right competing spirit. That's
yeah,
why we may we may somehow make a mistake knowingly, unknowingly in that
yeah,
comparison. Yes. Hmm.
true, Prabhuji. And that's why it's very important to listen
Yeah,
and uh,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Clear. Thank you, Prabhuji.
yeah. Nice. Thank you. Okay. Before we close, any last questions or any announcements? I don't know there are any announcements. I can only request that let's see how we can improve our quality of japa. We always, I think yesterday I said na Varsan Lila Mataji about gold and rolled gold.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhuji.
let's see how we can increase the grams of gold in what we are offering every day, so that we are not giving Krishna only rolled gold. Of course, in our deity worships, we see so so many are um, mm, we may say, no, I'm bringing bhav ornaments, though they are not gold, they are made of bhav. Yeah, but when we are bringing that bhav, the Lord accepts. So if we are missing that bhav in our rolled gold japa, then yeah, yeah, we have to be careful, right? So let's bring at least the bhav when we are offering our broken words, broken names of the Lord. Maybe let's try that for this week to improve our chanting.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I wanted to speak something.
Mhm.
When we were going through this chapter and we were talking more about desire, that time just a thought came into my mind that when we are child itself, we really don't know that do we have to have that materialistic desire, but somehow we are conditioned and trained by maybe our own parents only. Okay, you go to temple, ask God this, ask good mask or something. So and finally we somehow result in a very much conditioned person by the time we ourselves become adult and to understand what to take or not. So somehow everybody who is here are blessed that we are getting this chance again to cleanse ourselves and to at least understand what is what. So one thing, Prabhuji, I felt that we are fortunate. Second thing is that we have to be continuously fortunate. We have to be continuously present here. And
Mhm.
when in the further discussion, even with Mataji, when Mataji was asking about envy, so that time also I felt, Prabhuji, are we not keeping these competitions in the kids and putting these seeds of envy from that time only, that we are going, let's say maybe in the temple competitions we are keeping for the kids, or kids are going for the competition, some allocations or some
Hmm.
dance or some debate. So
Yeah.
it, well, how
What
one
is?
can, yeah,
Yeah.
correct at that point.
Yeah. So we can see how in Gurukulas education was, there was also competition, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm.
It's not that it's not there were no competitions. The competitions were there in Gurukulas because usually one has one can strengthen his skills or expertise when he has this um, factors that test his ability, right?
Mm. Correct.
Yeah. So that is one thing. But what happens is this test is actually to make sure that how have I developed. Huh?
Mm.
But the grading system, I mean, before grading system, we know ranking system was there, right?
Yes.
The ranking system was only one can be rank one, one can be rank. Oh, I think one can be rank one, and of course from there two can be any people who have the same marks and etc. etc. So what happens is this ranking is making a kind of a clear way of appreciating. Yeah, especially in a competitive world, you have to have that other, for a means of selection. The approach here is the selection when it becomes a criteria to see who is the best qualified, then you have the tests and competitions and etc. And
Mm.
but then what happens is the competitions are very narrow minded. They are not competing, they are not testing the competing skills of one's ability of soft skills, right? So
Mm.
which means it is only about whether you can be a best dancer with all nice movements and all nice expressions, that decides you are a dancer. But after that, out of the stage na, you can be a smoker, you can be a fully proud for what you have achieved. So one is not checking all these things in that competition, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
So while kids cannot have a character right from day one, which even the people who are judging, they cannot prove the person that, hey, I have given you rank 1 because, no, I have given you rank 10 because you were not behaving well with your co-students. The person will not, the child will not be in a position to understand because this is something which is subtle, not gross. What is gross is giving the marks for your movements and expressions, which anyone can do. I mean, not anyone, but it's easy to
Mm.
do. But when it comes to character, now how can you judge someone's character if you really want to compare? So, long question, I mean, long explanation short for your thing is we should make sure that the kids, if you talk about kids level or even we are bigger kids, so it
Mm.
applicable for everyone is one is that how skillful we are in our services or in our activities, but that itself is not enough. It is also actually there is a three dimension. I forgot the third one. The second is character. I think the second one is consistency. The third one is character. Consistency means am I doing it not just one time out of whatever fluke, right? But am I doing it with right understanding and am I doing it correctly? This is still about the way of doing it, not the
Mm.
purpose of why we are doing and how best we have to do based on character level. You're seeing the three levels. One is
Mm.
if you are asked to make a furniture piece or a wooden craft work, if you have nice artistic skills are enough and
Mm.
expertise is enough. Skills, expertise, and character. Skills is how you chisel the wood. Artistic is, the expertise, skills, and expertise. How to do it. Skill is what you can do. Expertise is how best you will do to form it. And the third one is character. If you don't have the right character, whatever you may do, you may create a best of the what material, yeah, experts can appreciate. but it will only cause disasters because the character is not there. And with negative character, what we create is ultimately for one's own and suffering for others. It doesn't bring happiness and peace for him in this life or in next life.
So, Prabhuji, intention is a part of our character, like
Yeah,
whatever.
I think as I was we have discussed now, it is intention and goal both should be there.
Mm,
Intention should be right. It's not just only goal. That's why I'm saying when you have character, then you are not just running behind the goal. Just like I want to be number one, I want to be number one. Yeah, you see, na, I'm number
mm,
one, number one. But intention matters.
mm,
With what intent? Is it right intent? What do you want to? Why do you want to be number one? Hmm?
mm.
I want to be number one because everyone will give me all what do you call
Clothes.
applauds? Is the right word? Hmm. Or
Mm,
is it just because I want to make myself very competent so that I can serve, whether it could be people, whether it could be Lord, whether it could be family? Huh? That is the purpose. Intention is very important. The best intention is to please the Lord. Yeah.
mm. Yes, Prabhu.
I mean, I don't know if I have covered or.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji, you have given the perspective that whenever such things are happening, how one should be prepared to be a part of that. Or matlab, if someone is responsible to train somebody, then they should also give them this holistic picture that this skill,
Yeah.
expertise, and character is
That's why
very
teachers,
important in somebody's
yeah, that's
life.
why teachers of they were um, I heard also somewhere. Unfortunately, it is that the teaching professions are not compensated properly. That is a disaster that where we are going through because it's not so attractive profession. So we don't have quality teachers because who are having only skills have become the teachers. Yeah, and who have character, uh, they are not compensated well, and because they are not compensated well, whatever the value they are giving, there are others who the students are not valuing because the exams are only at a skill level,
Mm,
not at character level, right? So we have a big disaster that is there in our education system that is the cause of all these problems. And it says that if we actually, I'm saying now, if we have a right education system, then we don't need all the sophisticated medical systems, right? Huh? When we
mm,
know what to eat, when we know what to do, when we know what to think, most of our diseases are psychosomatic diseases, right?
true,
We
Prabhuji.
don't have to take medicines. Why? Because those don't even prevail so much. Again, this goes in a
Mm.
different direction, but I think you're getting the point.
Yes, Prabhuji, I understand what you mean.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
Prabhuji, one more thing, like these days we hear this very much now from the young people, this word FOMO, fear of missing out. So is that
Hmm.
also envy?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
As I said, all these things are coming mainly because it's not that in those days it was not there. Yeah. For example, we were referring to fear of missing out. What is that? Fear
mm,
not having. In the case of who is that who didn't had child? We came across recently, na, in Bhagavatam. Yeah, Diti.
mm,
Huh? She sings, oh, it's so low. Yeah, whereas a devotee perspective is, yeah, Lord, yeah, if you give, we are happy. If you don't give, we are happy. Why? Because in the end, it is you who are giving. You know best.
mm,
We are not worried. I mean, as I said, devotional life is so blissful. Why? Because we throw everything on Lord. Hey, Lord, you do, I'm
yes,
fine. If you don't want me to do, I'm fine. Because you are my best driver. Yeah, you drive me to the destination better than I drive myself. So we have the ability to accept any position. Sometimes this is taken as in very negative perspective. I think it was Swami Vivekananda who was asked, um, or I don't remember exactly, but he says, yeah, or I think one of us in our discussions also it came that people usually have this that devotees are useless. That's why they take to devotion because don't know what to do, how to do, and people who are not capable, they become devotees. Huh?
Hmm.
That's no, we take a very easy. Why should we over endeavor when we can just endeavor? We don't need to over endeavor, no?
Yes.
It is something like I want to prove the world what degree of hotness I can eat. So let keep putting or people sometimes we have this competition, eating gulab jam.
Hmm.
Or Rupa recently, which one? What is the competition you heard? Eating number of pani puris, huh? Yeah, yeah. And this competition is in the land of Prayagraj, no? Or maybe these are two different. Yeah, people go to Mahakumbha Mela to eat Mahapani Puris as lifelong. Of course, Pani is there, na?
Yes.
Pani is common in Prayagraj. Either it's Pani Puri or yeah, the Sangam Pani. Anyway, um, why did this come?
Because of fear of
Yeah,
missing
so
out the
people will
opportunity.
think that hey, devotees are useless because they are not serious. Where they say na, kuch do something substantial. We are doing substantial, but it's not visible
Hmm.
with material gross understanding.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, then we close the call here. Thank you so much for joining, and we will discuss about austerities in the three modes of nature next week. I hope you are enjoying these sessions and also helping our own self for improving, and also feel free to share. Yeah, if you have someone who is discussing these things, yeah, share this perspective and definitely refer that this is from Bhagavad Gita, the book that we have not read in until now, but if we read, then we get the right perspective. Yeah, we may have to advertise the glories of Bhagavad Gita because there is so much hype. Yeah, that is the reason why Prabhupada didn't put Bhagavad Gita in the bookstores. Yeah, we may ask, nah, yeah, there are so many bookstores. Why is ISKCON not selling books via bookstores? Yeah, no, we want to distribute. We want to distribute this by actively sharing what is present inside this so that people really know and then they are interested and then they take. It's not just, yeah, you just see a title, wow, Bhagavad Gita, and everyone is taking Bhagavad Gita. No, it doesn't happen so easily like that. So that's why we have to distribute. And people may ask, why is it then so much expensive? I don't know if anyone would have been challenged. This question come, why it is so expensive? Yeah, the wisdom is so valuable. If it is so cheap, you will not take it. Huh? Yeah, if it is priced low, no, then are you not making money out of it? Yes, of course, if there is money making, that money making is going into making many more books which are given for free. There are so many books which are also given for free. One is not seeing that, one is only seeing why is it high rate, high price. Uh, the quality of publishing that is there with nice graphics and everything, of course, it's not a cheap thing, and of course, so many books are distributed in donation, or whoever can get it, they can read it, so that everyone has a book that they can at least one time in their life can read. And then, of course, what about the rest of the money if it's not used for donation of books? They are used for in what do you call this? Spiritual centers, temples, constructions, where everyone can come and hear what? Bhagavad Gita. Huh? So only if we are narrow-minded, then we start challenging all these things. Hey, this is too much. Yeah, you should not do that. Yeah. If we appreciate what Prabhupada has done to the world, hmm, we can very easily understand that a pure devotee can never think of material interests. Let's make it best in the market. Let's make it lot of profits. What will Prabhupada will get if he's becoming rich at age of 70 plus? Uh, what will he do to become rich? Hmm? Satish Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, I think the concept of distribution, it has this personal touch. We also spoke about, Makran's Prabhu's experience yesterday, so
Yeah.
connects very well, Prabhuji. And also, you beautifully mentioned, this greed, etc., and how in Krishna's service it is very nice.
Mm.
So I think a lot of insights. Even I had some thought, maybe it's late. Maybe I'll meet you in the temple and ask Prabhuji. One thing I always keep thinking is, in Krishna service or at ISKCON, we always want our fellow, God brothers and sisters to progress. We are not envious, but the perspective is totally 180 degree different at work and corporate. We want to progress. Maybe it's already late. Maybe I'll talk to you on this today, Prabhuji.
Yeah. We should aim for this. That is our own, it protects our own self in our path of devotion. But sometimes, yeah, we can see the heat can come in all directions, because not everyone is already a polished devotee, right? So we have to have that benefit of giving, um, benefit of what do you call this? Not doubt, benefit of acceptance, yeah, for what one may not be ready, a recognition, yeah, benefit of uh, over recognizing a person, or over respecting or over appreciating, yeah, that is no harm. It only helps us. If we are giving more respect than one person deserve, there is no harm. That is a benefit we will still get. Why? Because Lord is saying, yeah, He is appreciating. Back to this example of Duryodhan and Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir didn't find even one citizen who is better than, lower than him, whereas Duryodhan didn't find anyone who is better than him. Yeah.
Right. Beautifully explained. Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, we'll stop here. I have to meet my neighbor. And before I come to the temple, if someone is coming, then we see there. पंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. हरे कृष्ण श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.